more you look at it, the more you start seeing.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Oh, it's got some details.
I want to get a chainsaw shark. It's pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I think I see an iShip design in there.
All right. And we're going to jump into it like we do every week.
Sure.
Welcome to another episode of the Bladeology Podcast. We're on with just the hosts this week. I'm Jeremiah Burbank from PBK Vegas.
Nick Chuperin of NCC Knives.
Elijah Isham Blade Works.
Awesome. So it's been a hot minute since we've had a moment to catch up with you fine folks. We've been on the road quite a bit, endlessly. We're just reaching the tail end of show season. The last show we went to was the Kentucky show. Before that was Blade West, and before that was California. So we're gonna try to do a little bit of a show wrap up. We all three of us have updates of projects going on and changes in our routines and lifestyles. Nick is vegan now, which is weird. We'll get used to it though.
Yeah.
Anyway,
great.
Yeah.
Pseudo vegan. Yeah.
Pseudo vegan.
I feel like I'm dying inside.
See, there you go.
I mean,
that's normal. Oh yeah, right. By vegan we mean he's eating vegans, not that he's vegan.
No, I'm not going eating vegan.
He's not going vegan. He's consuming vegans. Wow.
I just want to say that last knife is a frame lock. That's a frame lock.
What the bleep? So what we're laughing at is
I'm buying this right now.
an M-Tech that looks like it's a guitar with a flag on it, but it's also a frame lock guitar.
It's hard to verbally
the clip
describe
is a musical note, so I'm just saying
just how amazing this knife is.
The clip is a treble clef.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot on there. How thin is that relief there?
Oh, it's thin, but it's an
The
M-Tech.
proportions are like challenged for sure.
That's like that's a quality spring clip right there. It's
pretty sure that's
3
just a sticker on there,
CR1 steel blade. So
And the knife we're talking about, we're gonna put that in our stories on Instagram.
For sure, that's gonna happen.
We might get some hate with that. We might get violated for hate speech with that knife.
Oh, that's good. That's custom. So yeah, it started. We'll probably dip in and out of the Master Cutlery catalog as we go here because it is terrifyingly entertaining.
Yeah, we spent the last 2 hours trying to record this podcast, and all we did is look at like M-Techs and Master Cutlery.
Which is weird because we started looking at Coop's site, and then we went super high end to the lowest of end.
Yeah, we took like a hard nosedive.
Yeah, we went from the craziest folders to like
the bottom, like the bargain bin.
The bargain bin crazy.
At the local flea market. Yeah.
Like when you're leaving Smoky Mountain, they just throw you one of these for free. Like, hey, thanks for coming in, and they just kind of like
grab bag.
Yeah, like go for it. Just take one, please. Seriously, we can't get rid of it.
Just taking the inventory space.
So without beleaguering the point, I flew from Vegas to Los Angeles. Nick flew from New York to Los Angeles, and Elijah flew from Portland to Los Angeles, where we met up and acquired a limousine and a John Gray.
Yeah.
And we
limo ride.
Yeah, you forgot about it.
This was a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll dive back a little bit, and then we went to the show in California. We went to Friday Night Blade Affair too, which was very cool.
Yeah, it's kind of slid in there.
Just kind of snuck in there. The DMs. Nick was exhibiting at California.
Oh yeah, it was.
Completely forgot.
That whole area was a blur. That was like, it was California. I forgot how like that whole show went. Was me working like a maniac to California, to 20-hour drive north to Portland.
Yeah, that was like the show was 2 weeks after I officially moved to Portland, so it's quite the whirlwind there for a minute.
I forgot about exhibiting in California.
Yeah, you were there, Nick. You had a table.
Yeah, I was there. I brought like a record amount of knives too.
Yeah, you had a few, huh?
Yeah, I had 16 knives with me. I didn't sleep like a month.
It's a fair amount.
Yeah, you had a few of those. I mean, they didn't all sell, right?
No, I still have.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
I guess we're kind of stuttering here, so let me look at those bullet points we got set up. We're kind of
so we're at the California show.
Yeah, we're at the California show. We're sleeping at the Murata Inn.
Yeah, we got a cheap hotel room that was not in the hotel where the show was.
Jeremiah.
Okay,
Jeremiah's like, I got the hotel covered. And
whatever.
I'm like, cool, I trust you, guy. We pull up like way away from the hotel, and I'm looking at him like, no way. I'm like, I have all these knives and cash. This doesn't seem like a good idea.
Yeah, better get the strap because it's looking pretty sketchy.
He walks up to the front desk. There's just a roach on the front desk.
I forgot about that.
That was great.
I forgot about that. I was signing the room sheet, and like a roach scurried across the counter, and I smashed it with my fist. And the lady was straight up like, "Oh, thanks, I appreciate that." And I'm like, "I got you, no worries."
Like she wasn't phased at all.
No, she was just like, "Nah, it's cool. Like I appreciate."
Well, she was the one behind the bulletproof glass.
And they're lively today.
Another good sign.
She was safe. She was like, "I'm behind 2 3/4 inch piece of glass here, so we're good."
Yeah, and then we got up to the room, and it's one bed for 3 of us. So we have to figure out that situation.
I came prepared. I brought my sleeping mat and my sleeping bag. I was totally fine with sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, until nightfall, and then didn't have a blanket really, but
yeah,
made it work with that towel.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta towel it. Yeah, we were only there for 2 nights anyway, and there was no sobriety happening, so it was totally fine. We took some great pictures of the Friday Night Blade Affair, which was actually pretty fun. I gotta say, the way they set up that lottery system,
that was pretty cool. Yeah,
that was well thought out. To be fair, I got
everybody's automatically entered in every lotto, so
right.
Yeah, you just decline if you win. Yeah, just lay back and start drinking heavily.
Yep. Just get that intoxication on and wait for that number to be pulled. And if you want it, take it. If you don't want it, just pass. It's just that simple.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta run around and do anything.
I did see what you guys meant about the weirdness of how it's like in the Disneyland area. So just like drunk by people with knives around kids.
Right.
Yeah. So me and Jared went last year, and Nick's first year was this year. And yeah, I mean, it's like out in the middle of Anaheim. So it's a bit fur from Encino where Recon 1 is. But I guess the show's always been there, so they're just gonna keep it there.
I think it's a tradition thing. They just kind of keep it rolling. People know where it is. It's weird. It's a little bit weird with all the bunny or not bunny mouse ears running around.
On adults.
Right. Yeah, on full grown adults. But hey, everybody's got to go to Disneyland. I think the one thing that really stood out for me for the California show was I think on Sunday. We were at Nick's table. No, remember Nick left and you and I were at the table.
The Wayne Goddard piece. Yeah,
and this amazing, this amazing guy came up who was like basically dressed in character as like
he was like a patch shooter, like a muzzleloader rifle shooter.
Yeah, and he had, I think it was Elijah. You put it in your story. I'm sure it's. Mm-hmm. Did you save it to your highlights?
I can. I actually haven't saved any show stuff to my highlights in a minute. I think since Blade Show. But
we'll see if we can't dig up some pictures. But this character was amazing. Like the guy was cool.
About Wayne and Wayne Goddard, the guy that made the knife, in Blade magazine right now. So.
Oh shit! Okay, there you go.
Oh, that's where I saw it recently. Yeah. I remember I saw it recently somewhere at the New York show. What the magazines are on the desk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's an article in there about him.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of the Knife magazine, we were in Knife magazine, in not the same article, the one prior.
It's true.
Just applause all around. Yep.
Just good job, everybody.
Or was that just something falling in the background?
That was. Yeah. No. It was cool to work with Knife magazine. They wanted to do an article on the shop. I appear in a picture on the phone, as I'm almost always on the phone in the shop. And yeah, check it out. It's a good article. Near the end, I name dropped these two guys in the podcast to get it in there. I think it came out cool. It was a neat article. I think it's the front of Knife Magazine is it's the one with the Les George trench knife and dagger, like the Gerber Mark I style dagger. And then right. And then there's Wayne Goddard's in Blade.
December edition.
So definitely check that out, because some of his stuff is totally far out and very much worth checking up on. Actually, you know what? I bet Coop has definitely photographed some of his pieces over time, so it's definitely worth checking out.
Oh yeah,
also,
for sure.
Totally a drop for Coop. We were just checking out before we started recording the Knife Gallery, which is a new portion of Coop's site where it has archives of years and years and years of his photography. So definitely, if you've got time, go check that out, because you can get lost looking at pretty much anything from ancient samurai swords to folding swing guards to sole authorship fixed blades from the other side of the world. So go check that out. What else happened at the California show that was cool?
A lot of stuff. Didn't really get to hold one, but Michael Raymond had a pretty interesting piece. I wanted to hold, but I just kind of got foibled because of the lack of sobriety. But I wanted to check that out. But I saw it from afar on the table, but it was pretty cool.
That was a.
I didn't really get to walk around much because I was exhibiting. You guys gave me the chance to do a 20-minute lap, but I didn't really see anything.
Nick had this
towards the end of the show.
No.
We did go through the ProTech facility. So.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that too. God, that whole show was a blur at this point. Holy crap.
Yeah, I had to dig deep to remember that one.
Yeah, so I reached out to ProTech while we were in the area, and they were kind enough to take some time, I think on Friday before the show.
The day before the show.
And then give us a shop tour, which was awesome, because I've been dying to go there for years. Obviously been doing business with ProTech at PBK for a really long time. So that's just, I don't know why it's taking so long to get down there. Dave, the owner, CEO, guy in charge, is very cool. If you've never met him, take my word for it. Blade HQ did a really neat video about him and his history. But yeah, he gave us a tour of the facility, which was dope. Very, very friendly, very open with the process. Happy to answer questions.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was a cool tour. I've been through a couple factory tours, and I was pretty impressed at how much he was just very kind, and he answered all the questions I had, and wasn't really secretive about anything. And a lot of times, guys get a little bit weird when you start walking around the facility.
Well, yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of trade secrets or something, but he was he was just very open to answer questions, which I thought was awesome.
Get to check out some interesting prototypes and stuff.
Yeah, that was neat. Yeah, in his office. So in Dave's office, he has patches from all over the world, from different service units that carry his knives, and he also had right below that he had a whole thing of prototypes of basically every knife that ProTech's probably ever made, give or take. Which was really neat, because handling some of those was definitely a blast, especially seeing as where those knives started and where they are now. That's some of their best-selling work.
Yeah, pieces you'd only get to see if you went there in his office and looked at them.
Yeah, that was neat. Cool. Yeah, he had a prototype Flyfather from back in the day, which was pretty cool. Bally song that they did with essentially the Godfather blade, which was pretty cool.
Dagger looking blade. Yeah, I forgot about that one too. Yeah, that whole wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
My mind is just mush at this point.
Saw some pretty interesting
11 shows.
Things. Yeah, 11, 12, 13, whatever. Saw some interesting stuff on the assembly line. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Some very cool stuff coming from ProTech probably. I'm going to say probably 2020, because I don't think it's dropped yet, but we can't obviously talk about it. But
I would imagine probably around Blade Show something.
Oh yeah, time frame wise that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Based on how we in the stages we saw those knives in, the theoretically knives. Probably Blade Show. We just don't want to say it because we don't know how secretive it is or not.
Yeah,
very. Yeah.
You'll know when you know, and it's just a
disclaimer: no collaborations with neither me or Nick. So,
right.
If you were wondering, no, it's not that.
Not as of yet.
It's an iShim automatic.
No,
that's never gonna.
See, now you're just fucking. You're muddying the water, Nick.
So California was awesome. As it turned out, as the three of us tend to do, we rented a car when we were in California because it seemed like the most legitimate way to travel from the Southlands to the Northlands of Portland, Oregon for Blade Show West.
Yeah, that in itself was a fiasco.
Yeah, that was fun. These assholes. I was like, "Oh, you should get the car at 12 o'clock and then come back to pick me up from the show."
Okay. Yes, Nick did say that, but here's the thing: nobody knew that the car rental place would close at 1. That doesn't make any sense. What place closes at 1 p.m. on a Sunday? That's like asinine. That's crazy.
Literally about 30 minutes late.
Yeah, so the Uber just drops us off, like, here you go, and pulls away, and we're standing outside, like, wait. They're closed. Like, we can see our car behind the gate, but we can't get to it. So we frantically had to figure out another car situation because that was the end of the show. We had checked out. We had all of our luggage with us. There was nowhere to go but to get in a car and drive to Oregon.
Stranded in Disneyland.
Yeah, it was a shitty situation because we walked next door to Expedia. They charged us double, and they were like, "Oh, we're closing in 10 minutes, and we're the only place open right now."
Yeah, I thought that was
we only
Enterprise.
have one car left that hasn't been cleaned yet.
Like, y'all are.
Did they say that? They said they only had one car left.
Yeah, the car I got, whatever.
It wasn't cleaned. If you remember, right, when we got the car, like it was still dirty from the previous people.
Damn, I don't remember that. I thought that was just like normal, but I don't remember that was the last car.
Yeah, I know. He was like, look, he's like, if you don't take it, the guy behind you is going to take it. So that's why, I walked out and sat in the car for 10 minutes. I'm like, where the hell are you guys? Like, this is it. Like, we're good. Like,
you didn't tell us you got the car. You were
you didn't.
So
do you guys really want to do this? Do you guys really want to pay double? And we're like, we have no choice. And like, you just left.
So we grabbed the car, packed up our stuff, and hit the road from California to Portland. Trying to think, that was Sunday. Oh, we went to go hang out. So we passed through and saw Nick's. What was it? Your cousin?
Oh yeah, forgot about
this whole trip just like refreshed. Yeah, so we drove through, stopped in Encino so I could see some family. Then we kept driving up north, and we ended up.
We stopped at Recon 1, but we didn't go inside.
Oh yeah, it was late.
They were close.
We got there real late. Yeah.
We left some stickers though. Then we drove up north. We stopped at Pismo Beach, which is a pretty nice area. Ended up staying there tonight, and then after that we drove up north again to Carmel, which is like, if you're not aware what Carmel is.
We went to
ahead of yourself, Nick.
We went to San Luis Obispo.
Got tattoos for like a day.
Yeah, we spent all Monday getting tattoos.
Oh yeah, you know why I forgot about it? Because I didn't have time to get my tattoo.
You didn't have to go through the pain.
Nick was also supposed to get a tattoo, to be fair.
I just like last second, I'm gonna get one too, and I didn't
work out perfectly.
No, I had that in advance scheduled.
Tattooless.
No, you got one.
One of the guys.
I mean, since that said show.
One of the guys who does the art for the shop. I know on Instagram, I reached out to him and I was like, hey. So I set up a tattoo appointment and got some things tattooed. And then we were all supposed to get tattooed, but the time thing didn't work out exactly right. Mine took a little bit longer than thought. So then Elijah was up, and then by the time Elijah was done,
full day.
It was like, what time did we leave?
I think 11.
Yeah, so we were there for literally 13 hours at the tattoo shop, which was pretty legit.
She closed the shop down. Yeah,
this is where I found out both of them are horrible people at time management, because they're like, oh, it shouldn't take more than 5 hours for both these tattoos. I'm like, you're insane. Your tattoo's going to take 5 hours.
It was pretty legit, though, because Dresden shut down the whole shop for us. We just booked them for the day. That was really neat. We just basically hung out. And
Yeah, you never really know until, you're with the tattoo artist, and you never know how long they're going to take. So, yeah, it was a little longer than expected, but it worked out.
Okay, we should move on. Let's start talking about knife stuff. And then after that, we started driving up north, and then we went to Carmel.
Nice shit.
Well, that's the whole point of this. They don't care about our lives. So we went to Carmel, and if you don't know what Carmel is, because we didn't know what Carmel was,
it's the hard part of the Twix bar. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. It's essentially a small little town, the retirees, but it's like a really rich town. Like every block has a 5-to-1 ratio of 5 art galleries to 1 of whatever else it is, like a grocery or a diner. But there's just art galleries everywhere. It's a really like clean and rich town. Later, I found out to get
breakfast.
Yeah, great place to get some steak and eggs.
The reason we ended up in Carmel is because we went to go visit Carmel Cutlery, our friend Steve.
Sanford.
Sanford.
Right.
Which you don't know, Monterey Bay knives.
Yeah,
right, Monterey Bay.
AKA Monterey Bay Knives. He was kind enough to let us stay with him that night. And then he had a cool, if you guys ever in Carmel, you guys should check out his shop. It was a pretty cool shop. All the woodworking in there. All the woodworking in there. The cabinets were custom made.
Steve's got
he had amazing like wood fixtures in there.
Yeah,
his shop
was like classical.
His dad did some of that.
Yeah, all it was like figured maple, curly maple wood.
Steve's got an awesome house, cool dog. His cat's kind of mean, but whatever.
Ate off the cat.
Has a look to him for sure. Didn't like Nick
smelled
very
Nick
much.
coming.
He's the scent of Nick preceded him. I mean, Elijah
Just
and I
saying,
got by no
he
problem.
He had a Hitler stash and instantly attacked the Jew.
Just saying. Could be anything.
Yeah.
At that point, we hadn't showered in a couple days, so it could be anything.
It could be anything, but he did attack the Jew and have a stash.
That was very cool of Steve to put us up at his spot and check out the shop. We walked around Carmel for a bit. Whatever. Carmel. That's right. He has a particularly awesome way of displaying his knives with springs in them. If you know, you know. If not, go figure it out. I guess he does a lot of kitchen knife business there. So he had a really neat kitchen knife display behind the counter where he's standing. Behind him, the whole wall is magnetized, so he keeps a bunch of kitchen knives up there. That was pretty cool. We got some probably Elijah's favorite breakfast of the whole trip was in Carmel.
It was the
worst breakfast of my life.
No, you loved it.
He got upset that his pancake was actually a crepe and not a pancake.
It was on the thinner side of pancakes, to be fair.
Also incredibly expensive.
It was
Carmel.
Yeah, going into it, we should have assumed that was going to be like a heavy.
That's true though. Yeah.
Financial investment. And
could have been an off day. I mean, Steve did recommend the place, so
he did. Yeah, he was like, "Look, it's coming here." He's like, "Y'all aren't buying knives. You got to invest in this town somehow."
To be fair, I had my breakfast was great. I didn't complain. Elijah just had issues because he's from the woods.
Well, they're just discriminating against my long hair.
Let's proceed and get out of this food stuff. Then we drove up north again, obviously, and we stopped in San Francisco. We ended up having a tour of the Urban EDC facility.
Oh, that was cool.
Thank you, Sean. And we were supposed to stop at Tad Gear in San Francisco.
Oh yeah, and
Yangtze. And we were supposed to stop at Tad Gear. We didn't get a chance to while we were in San Francisco, but we did go to the pier because once again, to meet up with some of my family and stop by Weeby Knives.
On the pier. We stopped by Weeby. That was pretty cool, actually. The place is a little bit smaller than it appears, but it's got a pretty nice selection, and it's a really nice little tour spot. I bet he gets a fair amount of foot traffic through there.
Yeah, it's essentially a knife shack on an amusement park pier thing.
Wow. Harsh words, Nick. Harsh words.
It's what it was. It's not really harsh words. It's exactly what it was. It had a pretty big selection of inventory.
It had a big selection, though. I mean, he covered the bases well. I mean, he had custom Marfiones in there. And, I mean, he had the high end, he had the low end, everything in between. He had Elijah's stuff in there.
Stuff.
It had a lot of selection.
Yeah.
Variety.
His bases were covered.
It was definitely weird to look at like a high-end Microtech custom next to like a Chinese no-name thing, and then you look up and it's like a fantasy 7-foot sword from like Final Fantasy that's like $50 next to $1,000 Microtech.
If you can get away with selling $1,000 knives, every day out of a storefront, good luck. But I can tell you for something storefront and the online thing, it's totally different. People walking by who want a knife, you don't know who they are. Not everybody has the same budget. So I have a storefront. I get it. Like sometimes you have to, you have to mix up the inventory out there. You never know. Yeah, it's a knife for every pocket. But essentially, a large part of the trip was us visiting knife shops. We went to Carmel, and we actually went to Mark's place too. Actually, I totally forgot that. We skipped that.
Uh-huh.
Before we went, before we went to, was that before we went to?
That was just after we went to
after tattooing.
After tattooing, we went to Carmel and we crashed at C's place, and they got up, had the shitty breakfast, and then got on the road, and
oh my god.
Yeah, we went up and met Nick's other cousin in San Francisco.
Okay. Oh, that was
after that we went to Mark's.
Okay. Yeah, we were supposed to go to I wanted to go to Tad, but it didn't happen. It was fine.
But it was like, whatever. No time, really.
It was cool to see the Weeby Knives place and meet Young-Soo, which you guys have met. I've never met him before, so that was neat. And then, then we went and we hooked up with Mark.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm going to wait a minute, so we hit up the Bevmo.
Bam.
Which I still got that Bevmo card.
That was Elijah's first time at a Bevmo.
Yeah.
It's a special place. Just a Walmart for alcoholics.
Pretty much only in California, so
it's a Costco for alcoholics.
Basically, yeah.
We got some good stuff there, though. I think we did well. Elijah joined the club, so that's a bonus right there.
Get those savings.
Never use that again. And then Mark put us up, which was pretty awesome. Because I'd never been. Elijah spent like a week there last year.
Like
I've never
been there.
Yeah.
I get to know the shop and the town. It's pretty cool. Petaluma, if you're ever there. Go by and stop by Bag Knives.
We crashed. Actually, we literally crashed in the shop. Like we literally slept inside the shop, which was
they have like a loft area in the shop that we stayed in for the night.
Got some in and out that night with Mark. That was pretty cool. Got to hang out with the homie.
I grabbed an osteo blade that I have to grind.
Oh yeah, that's right. I guess that's not DL. So yeah, Nick's gonna grind an osteo blade at some point.
I don't think it's DL. It's that he's just like
you just gotta grab it like that.
Yeah, there's no. I'm one half of that project, and I didn't say it's DL, so we should be good.
All right.
2 weeks from now, I get a lawsuit.
Yeah, pretty much. So at some point,
myself somehow.
You'll grind that osteo blade. I'm sure that'll be kind of cool. I'm interested to see how that comes out. I went and got coffee when we woke up, and the product of that coffee trip will probably be either on the beginning of this episode or the end of this episode.
Maybe at the end. If you're going to listen this long, you should just leave them hanging. Get a little more treat at the end of the episode.
Okay, I'll put it at the end. So that was cool. Woke up and then hit the road from Mark's. Up the coast for a while, which was really pretty. We hit wildfire season like dead on somehow. So we got a little thrown off track because of that. And then what did we do that night? We kind of hauled ass for Portland after that.
Pretty much straight away, yeah.
We drove pretty much. Oh no, that was that before or after the cabin?
Cabin?
No, cabin was after Mark's. That was north.
Okay, so the cabin, we got sidetracked on a road that I took, and we had a whole day's adventure running around the side of the road, just doing nonsense. Which
remember, you pulled over like real quick, and then I was like, "Hey, a cabin over there. It looks like might have some pretty cool shit in it."
The story sucks.
I know. I'm listening. I'm like, this is so boring. I'm like, we just, this. Oh yeah, we forgot about that. Oh yeah, that thing.
There was the cabin
a road trip, but nothing about
the
that.
cabin thing was a thing where you had to be there. We're just gonna pass over it. Like it's
essentially we just drove the road. We ended up fucking up and losing all of our daylight.
We can't pass over that. We stopped and we seen a cabin off in the distance, and underestimated its
the hike
and interest.
the insane amount of work to get over to it, but it was by God, we were gonna make it happen.
It was on the other side of a river.
Almost died just a couple times.
You almost fell down the side of the hill. Now put it this way: there are two skinnier people that are better at trekking the terrain of up and down hills, wearing actual boots, and then you have me being the fat wearing gym shoes and not actual things that you should be climbing up and down hills with. So I was just sliding up and down this hill. I made it down and I made it back up, but halfway through this trek, once they left me and went the other way, I'm walking and I'm like, oh, there's fresh poop here. Okay, I wonder what animals are around here. And I start thinking about it. I'm like, oh, those look like boar tracks or some kind of hoofed animal. Keep walking down a little bit more. I'm like, it's definitely a mountain lion looking track there. And I keep walking out a little bit more, and there's a big one. I'm like, oh, that's a bear track. Okay, time to get the fuck out of here.
That's what you want, my guy. That's good. It was sketchy. It was like a half dried riverbed.
Yeah.
I ended up
fresh poop
forging the river. Elijah ended up going upstream and crossing the river. We both got to the cabin.
I was like, oh, it's going to be cool. There's going to be like some prospector shit in there or something.
Yeah.
And some cool things like, I don't know.
The cabin was on the edge of
I don't know what they were trying to find.
Like 100 feet above the water. And we scrambled up to it. And there was nothing in there at all. It was completely
Absolutely
empty.
Nothing.
It was a waste of time and we lost all of our daylight.
I had fun. We tagged the cabin with some podcast stickers, took some selfies, and moved on with our life.
An entire cabin's gonna be gone. Like, it's gonna fall off into the river.
It was a cabin that was on a cliff that had, because of erosion, it was like half in the river already, and then we hiked to the part that was like hanging literally by a thread on the cliff. It was custom, cleaned up. Nick had a harrowing experience after that.
A harrowing experience in a rest stop bathroom.
But sometimes things don't go the way you think they should or hope they should.
Over in the mountains, we see a shack, and I'm like, I gotta use the shack. And just let's say I proceeded to evacuate the bowels in the middle of the woods without any running water. Let's say.
With bear sign all around you.
Just bear sign everywhere.
Essentially. It was another sketchy situation.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we kept driving. Long story short, we just kept driving at that point. And so, that was the point where we hightailed it from that location. We were probably, maybe like 6 hours south of Portland, because at that point we hightailed it through the night. We got to
6-7 hours.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So then we got to Elijah's place at like 1 or 2 in the morning, right? Give or take.
Yeah, it was around there. Yeah.
And then so that was pretty nuts. That was a great road trip. From show to show, because of the closeness of the California show to the Blade West show, there was really no logical point in any of us dispersing and going back to where we came from, because there was only about a week. So that's the excuse I'm going to go with for renting a car and driving from one show to the other show.
Well, both of them live on the East Coast. They could do whatever they want. I mean, the West Coast, they could have done whatever they want. There's no point for me to fly back to New York and then fly back 5 days.
Yeah, that would have been dumb.
Return the car, and then we ended up we did Blade West in Portland. So that was Friday, Saturday, Sunday show. Nick and I did that show. Elijah did other stuff, but was there. I think you were there on Saturday, right?
For the last hour or two.
I can't remember.
Right. He didn't come in on Friday. He came in like 4 o'clock on Saturday.
Did I not come in on Friday? No, I came on a Friday like maybe 10 minutes before closing.
No, you did.
Yeah, and then Saturday was like maybe 30 minutes before closing.
Keeping that tight schedule, my guy. Professional.
Super professional.
Blade West. Blade West is cool. It's definitely a totally different show. You should not expect the same thing out of Blade Show West as you do any other show. This particular year was a very Ballysong-centric show. We had a lot of Ballysong makers. We had some Ballysong competition that happened.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised by how more Bally-centric that show is than what I'm used to.
I think they're getting their feet in the right.
I just think it's the only show that really accepts them. Like in New York, they really hate having them around because of the laws, and the hotel is not comfortable with them. Whereas definitely the Blade Show in Portland is like, they don't care. They embrace the whole Ballysong scene. Yeah. The flippers everywhere. They had the competition. It worked out well for them. And then what I guess that is referred to now as Blade East is the original one in Georgia. They put them off to the side, like almost outside, essentially, in the corner.
Blade Show main course. Yeah.
Right.
But at Blade West, they were kind of front and center, right in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
It was last year, too.
Yeah, they were cool with the whole Ballysong scene. The show has a lot of production stuff as well as custom stuff. The custom makers there are certainly, it's a different style of custom maker that goes to that show. Obviously some of our favorites were there. Bill and Eric were there from Touch Knives. John Gray was there. Matt Diskin was there. Who else? I mean, there were a lot of people. Those are.
Mm-hmm. Sanford exhibited too.
Oh, that's right. Yep. Monterey was there.
We're hanging out with Yon.
Of course, We Knives.
Right, We Knives. Okay, yeah.
All the Chinese production companies were there.
That's where I got the Dreskatons, as they brought those to Blade Show West.
Yeah.
I scooped those up.
It's a big enough show for them to show up, so yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a you know what? It's an awesome show. It's not a big hype lottery show like the California show is. It's definitely a lot more laid back. It's definitely worth it just to go to Portland, which is, I think, a lot of what some people go for is it's a great excuse to go hang out in Portland for a few days as part of a vacation write-off show type thing, however you want to go to show. Nick did not exhibit at that show.
Originally, I was supposed to exhibit at that show and I'll go to California. And the last minute, Tamara gave me a table in California, so I ended up canceling the table at Blade West and exhibiting in California instead. I still attended it, but I didn't exhibit. I didn't plan on making that many knives. If I knew I was going to have 16 knives, I would have definitely kept the table.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that. You were sort of like, you were surprised that you had made that many.
Yeah, just kind of the prior month, just kind of everything, the stars aligned and shit just worked.
Yeah.
It doesn't never happen. In my 7 years of doing this full time, it's never happened.
Well, once in a while, that's not a bad thing.
Once in a while, you get a win.
Yeah. We ended up, we stayed in an Airbnb with Matt and with John. And that was actually, we did a Halloween the night we got there, which was a pretty
shit, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Burn down, drag out
hairspray for like a week.
Yeah. That was a pretty fun excursion. I forgot all about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I put temporary tattoos of stilettos on my face.
Oh, sure. My God.
Yeah.
We got all your...
Yeah. Yep, that happened. And a Bladeology sticker on the side of my skull. So that's
there's pictures.
The next day he came to Blade West. He looked like he got socked in the face because we got home after the party and he was drunk as shit and he started scrubbing his face with a washcloth because they wouldn't come off.
Soap. Should have just used some soap. So, folks, if you're ever out there drunk as hell trying to scrub off some temporary tattoos, use soap, okay?
And maybe some water.
You weren't using soap?
No, that's why it was all red. It's because I was just like feverishly scrubbing like a partially damp washcloth on my face.
Oh, it's wet.
I was like, why won't these horrible Chinese tattoos come off?
I was like dying laughing. The more I laughed, the more you were just screaming and scrubbing.
Yeah, Portland's always a blast. It was a fun Halloween though for the Kentucky show, which was our most recent get home. And Kentucky show is always a blast. Not huge.
How do we just jump into Kentucky there? We just completely skipped New York.
Oh Jesus!
Kentucky.
Holy shit! Yeah, that happened.
So like, this is,
the New York Custom Knife Show happened.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, so after California was New York Custom Knife Show. Wow, we go to a lot of shows. Literally every single one.
So much that you actually literally forget about them.
That's why we seem like we're half-brained, because like we just finished our last show for the year, and for some of us that marks 11 or 12 shows for the year.
I don't even remember what happened in New York. It was fun. We saw the Knife Nuts crew. We saw the Mark of the Maker crew. It's always good to. We always threaten to get a podcast picture with everybody. Doesn't happen.
We had a fun Uber ride with some Krispy Kremes.
Oh yeah, we did. We did have the Krispy Kreme, which is a tradition for the New York show. If you're ever at the New York show, feel free to come get a Krispy Kreme. Saturday morning's usually the best time to do that.
I ran around with the Krispy Kreme hat and proceeded to give away 2 dozen donuts.
It's surprisingly, people like free donuts.
A lot of people were very ecstatic about said donuts.
Yeah, it's a thing that happens. Or Lefroy, whatever you want. The donuts or the scotch, both are up for grabs. We got Cybertrucks when we were there.
Me and Levon pre-ordered Cybertrucks.
Yeah, so that's going to be an exciting road trip to Blade Show 2021 when that happens.
2022.
2022, yeah.
Oh, 2022. Okay.
It says 2021. We'll see.
Whatever.
At this point, I still have not canceled my pre-order, so I'm still down.
I don't know. There were knives and stuff in New York. Whatever. Am I missing anything?
Hung out in the city with the guys.
Yeah.
Did we do that? No, we didn't go into the city.
No, we did for like a minute.
Yeah, we did.
We went to Shot.
Yeah, we went to a couple clothing stores.
Yeah, but that's when you guys were at my house already. That was after the show.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That was after the show.
It took us like 4 hours to get in the city.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, there's a lot of road closures. No, so usually we end up getting with the crews, like multiple crews, and we end up heading towards Manhattan and spending a night there. But it was just shitty weather that weekend, raining and snowing. So we ended up just kind of hanging out at the hotel mainly with the Knife Nuts guys. Anything interesting at the show, knife wise? Was it a Russian dude that had the Space Odyssey knife?
That was pretty dope. The Enterprise knife?
Star Trek, but yeah.
Yeah, the Star Trek knife.
Morrow knives.
He had a watch too, which was pretty.
Yeah,
awesome.
I didn't see the watch, but I saw it on Instagram the other day because my dad follows him. It's pretty damn cool. It looked like is it a TIE fighter? One of the wings of a TIE fighter, kind of.
Something like that.
Yeah, the sides of the watch.
No, not the sides of the watch. The TIE fighter knife. What you're thinking about is the knife that the watch was in Kentucky. I'm talking about the one that Morrow made. The black mother of pearl face had a bronze bezel that looked like a TIE fighter wing.
Right.
Look again. I could be wrong, but when I saw it, I was like, "This looks like a TIE fighter."
I totally spaced out on the TIE fighter one, but that was actually pretty dope.
Yeah, I didn't see it at the show. I just saw it the other day from my dad's Instagram. It was pretty cool. Anything else that was really cool at the show? I won.
I mean, there was cool stuff. You know, just you won a lottery.
I won the lottery. Fortunately, I didn't keep it. You won the lottery. I bought a knife for myself.
Oh yeah, that's right. You bought that cool little Slippy.
Well, I bought multiple knives actually. So in California, I forgot that I bought this Japanese dude. I forget his name at the moment, but I see him at every show, and he makes friction folders with forged blades, 01 and they're forged and hand rubbed, and usually different types of wood or carbon fiber. I've seen them forever, and they're pretty cheap. It's $130, and he was next to me at my table in California, and I was watching him for like 2 days, and I ended up buying one. And then at Blade West, I bought Kershaw launched 9 automatic.
So New York was cool, and then we just did Kentucky.
Stayed in the cool loft for the New York show, unlike that weird motel in California.
The weird hotel? You mean the?
I said motel.
Motel? Yeah, was it? Well, yeah, it was like a hybrid. Yeah, the loft in Jersey City was not bad.
No, that was actually really nice. That was legit. That was like a legit ass Airbnb.
Except for the sliding doors.
Oh, that was weird.
It had sliding barn doors. I think that's really it for New York. We're thinking too hard to say something about it. And that was pretty much it. It wasn't really eventful. Morrow had the coolest show at the show. Besides that, it was about meh.
I mean, it's always okay. To be fair, whoa, Nick, it's always a good show. Great show.
Man, that was a great show.
No, it's a good show. That's not what I didn't mean.
Yeah, I know.
There was nothing that stuck out.
I get it.
Like just a shit on everything.
Like every other year.
Yeah, Nick just hates everything, which is fine.
It's my home show. It's not like I've done it for 10 years. So it's like,
all right.
It's the same thing year by year.
The Kentucky show is also put on with the Craft Brew Junkies. So it's a Craft Brew Junkies Kentucky show. I don't know. Google it.
It has nothing to do with the Craft Brew Junkies at all. It just Facebook stuff. So
it has nothing to do with it at all, except for both things happen exactly at the same time, and the entire show is a drunken madness filled with Craft Brew Junkies running around. But other than that, you're right. Nothing to do with each other at all.
No, that's not how it happened. That just happened later. The Craft Brew Junkies joined Kentucky. So the Kentucky Knife Show, a lot of guys don't know about it. It's a little bit
explained this last year, but Nick's going to explain it again this year.
Did we do an episode about it? Whatever. Just new listeners. We had like 9 listeners last year. Now we have like 19. It's great.
Right. Doubled. All right.
Holy shit.
Wait, Matt's not great. That's like 110%, but it's cool. Is that right? Yeah, whatever. It's just a DL show. It's mainly Facebook. It started as a get-together in a Mexican restaurant, and essentially it's a show by knife makers for knife makers. So it's pretty much a vacation we can write off, I guess. It's like 2 to 3 days of drinking, depending on how you do it. And then on Saturday, the show starts at 6 p.m., so pretty much all the collectors and knife makers are somewhat drunk at that point, and it lasts for all of 4 hours. This year there was an incident where someone got a little too drunk and rowdy during the show hours, but that got taken care of pretty quickly. And but it's a great show. Chris Flanagan puts it on with Scott, and they did a great job. This year was like every other year. They definitely organized it pretty well. It's pretty limited. There's a waiting list to get on there at this point. There was a few new faces this year, if you guys paid attention, exhibitor-wise and collector-wise too. There was a lot more people this year because, like Jared was mentioning, the Craft Brew Junkie guys on Facebook started really embracing the show, and they do a get-together with us at the hotel. And the hotel's kind enough to give them some space to do that. Consider that they have a bar at the hotel.
Yeah. I mean, it is pretty legit because like any place else would be like, oh, you're bringing in like $100,000 in booze to the hotel where you're supposed to be buying booze. Like, it's cool of them to deal with it. It's very good. It's a legit ass little spot. Knives.
Oh, we forgot to mention John Gray's gray meat at the show.
Oh yeah.
You're like, here, have some meat out of my bag.
John Gray wasn't selling knives in New York. He was just kind of walking around with a cooler bag with meat inside.
Just handing out some gray meat.
It was elk that he shot in the backyard of his shop.
It's pretty tasty, though. I had some.
Probably a few days prior. It was good.
It was good. The presentation was lackluster, but to be fair, the follow-through was good.
I felt like I was
John cooked it properly.
I felt like I was buying drugs from John. He's like, oh, hey, Nick, come here. I'm like, yeah, what's up? He's like, I got something for you. I was like, okay, cool. Pulls out this bag under the table, unzips it. I look inside. All I see is aluminum foil. I'm like, okay, this is shady. Unwraps the aluminum foil, and then just slices of meat. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, it's just bag meat.
I'm like, how do I? He's just taking it with your hands. I'm like, okay, great, cool. You got a napkin? He's like, no. Okay, cool.
It was very John.
Very John. Yeah, if you met John Gray, it's just.
You wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
I knew it was fresh though. The moment I saw it, I was like, you shot that in the backyard. You didn't you? He's like, yep.
Thanks.
It's not shit that happens in New York.
Elijah came to the Kentucky show.
What?
I was there.
He was present.
On day 2?
On day 2.
There was no day 2. It was just one night.
There's Friday night and then there's Saturday night. That's fine.
Yeah, that's true.
Semantics.
All right. So that was the Kentucky show. It's a great show. If you get a chance and you're in the neighborhood and it hasn't sold out and you know somebody who knows somebody, and
you know somebody because the exhibitor, the collector badges, like if you want to attend, are also very limited. They sell out pretty quick too, so you have to be on in the Facebook group and keep track of that.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Name Scott? Who runs it?
Scott and Chris.
Scott and Chris. Yeah, that's right. I met one of them. I didn't meet the other one.
There's a Facebook group, KYCKS Facebook group. Just follow that.
So those were the shows. As it turns out, it's December 2019. The show year is pretty much over. There are no more shows in this year. We're going into 2020.
That's what you think.
More shows.
We got a show New Year's Day
right away. Shot show right around the corner.
Yeah, SHOT Show's right around the corner, technically in 2020. So that's actually that wraps up our show schedule for 2019. We went to every single show that was available to go to. I think we did a pretty good job.
Yeah, you guys didn't go to Paris.
Yeah, that's true. We did not go to Paris. Okay, every continental United States.
Well, then Elijah, you didn't go to Germany. Like,
that's true.
Okay.
Next year. Go there. Next year.
As far as catching up with news goes, we've got some updates. Nick, what are you working on right now?
Well, I did a pre-order like not even a month ago for about 20 MK1s. Should be done with those by Monday. I'll probably do another pre-order for about 10 more with different handle variations that I was messing with. And hopefully within the week, it is December 19th of the year 2019, and hopefully within about a week or so, I'll have the pre-order ready for the micro MK1s. I do about 30 to 40 of those to wrap up the year, and then so I could start working on the pre-order for sometime in January to February for newer full-size models, the promised Valkyrie and Ragnarok of last year that never happened.
So we're promising it for this year?
Yeah, so I was supposed to do a pre-order January of 2019, so now it's going to be January of 2020. Still sticking to that January number. Just halfway there. A year apart, but halfway there. Mm-hmm.
EDC items, knuckles, are being worked on.
Are we talking about that?
I don't know. I guess we're talking about it. Do you not want to talk about it?
They're being slowly produced.
I guess. They haven't really been produced. We're still kind of hearsay. Material has been ordered, I guess.
The material's been ordered. The renders have begun.
It's the revival of Jeremiah's OG company, Impera Industries.
We actually talked about this in the very first episode, which was almost exactly a year ago, but we're actually doing it now as Nick and I will be making things that are knuckles.
Say we were going to be making knuckles together?
We totally talked about it at some point.
Oh. To be fair, knuckles are gay. I just want to make metal art.
Sure. Whatever, guy. Whatever you want to say.
With metal art.
That sounds gayer, just so you know.
It definitely is.
Like, yeah, knuckles are gay. I just want to make metal art. Like, okay.
With my friend Jeremiah.
Yeah, like that's yeah, so we're gonna bring back my my split knuckle design, which uses magnets to keep each half of the knuckle together. So essentially you have one knuckle when it's together, and then you slide it apart, and you have a knuckle for each hand if needed. So pretty excited. We're going to be doing a collab on that. We got materials ordered, drawings and renders, and we haven't cut any prototypes yet. We're going to do that probably next weekend, it sounds like. So stay tuned. I'm pretty excited about that. It's going to be awesome. And you guys will see it on Instagram probably sooner than anywhere else other than hearing about it here.
They make great money clips.
Yeah. Elijah's got a version 1 Janus.
Mm-hmm.
I got one too. I just don't know where it is.
Right. I have some podcast updates, but I'm going to hold that till the end. So look forward to the knuckle thing. Elijah, what do you got cooking?
Oh my God, I don't know. Oh yeah, just got the Blackstars in yesterday. Entire shipment, stateside. That is. The DLC variants finally dropped on Klingenreich a few days ago, so those are available right now. Yeah, Klingenreich.
Sounds very forthright.
Probably
it is a German dealer. Never mind.
Yeah.
No, like it sounds very German.
Yeah. I guess we should have done these like little red rings around the pivots to blacken the red, a little bit of gray in there. Anyways,
Yeah, there was Red Rings?
No, I'm joking. No, they're just full DLC and then half DLC. Those are available through them. Limited exclusive. And then, I got the rest in yesterday. I was going to be headed to dealers hopefully tomorrow. So by the time you're hearing this, hopefully they should be popping up in the next couple days.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, that V2, there's a lot of stir about that.
Blackstar V2.
That titanium is very cool. So
yep,
what's the finish on the regular titanium? Is it just stonewashed titanium?
Yeah, it's just like a blasted and like lightly stonewashed.
Okay.
And on this run, of course, they're not G10, they're titanium. Changed the blade steel from M390 to CPM 20 CV, mainly because of sourcing issues with the M390, but it's basically an equivalent, so that works. Same satin finish, full tie, and then marbled carbon fiber on the inlays. Same size, same everything, same specs, except I did a double detent system on these ones instead of the single. Give it a little more snappy action a little bit, and there's going to be a full, like a acid stonewashed bronze variant exclusive to Urban EDC Supply. Those are going to be going up pretty soon. And the rest are going to be sold through a couple dealers, a handful. I'll make sure I get that up on Instagram, the list, and then the rest through me. But pretty
nice.
Limited, kind of limited. There's a few variants, some I won't talk about yet, but there's like they're more limited than the previous version 1, so hopefully people are satiated with this batch, and then next batch we'll do something different maybe.
All right. Yeah, I'm kind of excited to mess around with the titanium version because of the double detent. I mean, I like my Blackstar. I don't really have any complaints about it. I mean, it has a huge amount of lock fail, obviously, but
enormous amount because the lack of a locking mechanism.
Yeah. Which gets me every time because I'm like, I don't understand. Like, it's a knife with no lock. So like, I go to use it and I just cut myself. And I'm like, God damn it, I hate this
every time.
But yeah, the double detent on the new one, that should be pretty cool because then it holds the blade open and holds the blade closed. So
I mean, a little bit more than the original, but I mean, it's still a slip joint.
Okay, so it'll still have lock fail then. Yeah,
it's still gonna have lock fail. Couldn't get around that, but we'll see for the V3. Maybe a locking versions in the works.
All right, yeah, I'll keep my fingers crossed for a knife that works. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, definitely check out that DLC looks legit. The full DLC one looks pretty cool.
Yeah, there's only
from Germany at pronounce the name
Klingenreich. Yeah, Knife Force Klingenreich on Instagram.
Oh, is that what that means? Knife Force?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
sure.
Well, that's one and the same. I thought those were different companies. Okay.
No,
Knife Force is a great. Knife Force is a great name. That's like badass. Like,
yeah, it's like Vegas Force.
Yeah, like that's like, who are you gonna call? Like Knife Force. Like they have a lot of knives.
Mm-hmm. We have the Knife Force. But yeah, there's only like a handful of those DLC ones. I don't even have one myself. I should have probably got one, but whatever. I'm sure I'll see one in the wild one of these days. But yeah, those are available as long as supplies last. So
cool.
Go grab.
Did you ship those straight from China to Germany?
Yeah, they were shipped straight from the Chinese mainland direct to Germany. So I never even handled them.
So you don't QC them?
Well, they QC'd those, and then Klingenreich QC'd them too.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was cheaper to ship them from, there's no point in shipping them all the way over here and then all the way back. So
yeah, just to Germany? Huh.
Yeah.
All right.
So go grab one of them if you're so keen.
So
I feel like those tactical, mall knives, full black knives.
Full black marble ninja knives.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as things go, on my end, I think, is that kind of all the news you guys have for now?
Pretty much.
All right.
I make knife.
So for the podcast, a couple things. We're going, we just finished our first year. I'm kind of surprised we did it. Congratulations for us.
What are we on, 22 episodes?
I think, yeah. So this will be
episode 22.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. It's almost one episode every other week. If you just averaging, that's not what happened. But
if you average
2 weeks in a year, about 22, halfway.
We've been doing pretty good. I think we've been trying to stay as regular as we can.
Well, we have one more this year.
Yeah, we got something special for you. But I definitely appreciate everybody listening. Going into 2020. Just running some numbers and such. But we really want to try to expand the listenership and bring you guys even more cool podcasts to listen to. So we sort of decided that we were going to get a Patreon. Seems like the cool thing to do. Everybody's doing it. Mostly just because there are bills that we're incurring, which is not a big deal, but I'd love to be able to get some support from listeners to help us get through that stuff. I don't know if that's a good pitch for the Patreon or not. Like 2 tiers, like just a basic tier for you guys to just like throw us a couple bucks. Like that's awesome. That's legit. A couple bucks a month goes a huge way.
Give us money.
Yeah, the thing
Basically,
is, it's legitimately because we are incurring bills. Like I'm personally,
yeah, like for example,
all of us are incurring bills.
That I'm gonna pay
no one's
for right
complaining
now.
about it, but a couple bucks a month would be awesome. And then
it's like
get our Patreon, send more money.
This is advertising. It's fun to do, but like for example, just now, like we're trying to do a bunch of upgrades that's going to cost that I'm paying for. We're splitting it, but it's $500. We don't do this to make money, but it'd be nice to sell some, like come up with some new merch just to cover the cost, because that's gonna be $500 a year just for the things we're doing right now.
Right.
Plus all the other little like the stickers and all, like we just got stickers and lighters made. We usually just give those out at shows. So it'd just be nice so that way at least we break even on the costs around this. So
basically, the $500 that we're going to incur is essentially like equipment cost upgrades, server cost upgrades. It's stuff to make the podcast itself better. We're not like taking your money and like making money on it. We're just trying to cover some of the costs that we do incur for the podcast to bring a higher quality product. So look forward to that. That'll be great.
We'll come up with something like exclusive things for the Patreon guys, probably like a day or two early. All the general jazz that goes on with the Patreons.
Should be fun.
Just got to come up with the tiers and probably have giveaways going on. Just the general jazz that everyone else does. You got to figure out the logistics for that.
Give me jazz. We got to figure out the logistics. I'll do it later.
By that means Jeremiah's going to figure out the logistics and let us know.
Figure it out and let these guys know. And they will briefly sign off on it. We'll pretend to look at it. Yeah, so that should be good. We do have we are looking at one more episode this year, which will probably technically launch in the new year. I don't know, but it's something special that I'm pretty excited to bring you guys. And going into the new year, we're going to have a huge guest list. We have already a terrifying amount of guests lined up that are excited to come on and talk with us. I don't think I have anything else. Do you guys have anything else?
Just be prepared for some extremely awesome content moving forward.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
With that note, Nick Trooper of NCC Knives out.
Like that whole thing, man. Jeremiah Burbank from PBK Vegas out.
Yeah, that's discouraging. And then the mustache guy, he went to piss again.
He's out.
No, I'm still here.
That's cool.
Just waiting on you, Nick.
He already said it.
Did you though?
Oh,
cool story, bro.
Yes, this latest opus was inspired by our most recent West Coast tour, visiting some friends of ours who pass around the flaming hot torch of knife making. They are particular individuals, and this is a particular type of tune. Banjo's living in the bando. 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 Hold on.
Oh my god, listen to that to Jeff.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
Oh wow, look at that. Dark Side Blades.
That is custom as fuck.
Spring assisted knife.
Is that the collab that you guys did?
Yeah, it's the Dark Knight satellite. Me and Jeff did.
That's pretty insane considering you guys only did one.
There was like 5 made.
Oh.
They pay attention.
But look at the logo. It's like, it fits.
It's true.
What logo?
They're quick,
The
man.
Dark Side Blades logo?
They're in there. They're watching.
And
They don't even. They're just reverse engineering
co-
Instagram pictures, basically.
Yeah, and it comes in 3 colors.
Yeah.
Oh, they also copied
Yeah, the other one's
Every knife
Marsh.
ever made.
no,
Marsh,
it's not Marsh. It's
Yeah,
fucking
the other one's Marsh Steel Flame.
no. It's the one we just saw by the guy.
By the people.
Huh?
The
play
bad
something.
blood.
Bad blood bleed.
Oh no, the other one I just sent to the group. That's fucking great.
No, look at the one that I saw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, the one you sent is the Marsh, and then like Bodega. No, it's a Rad Knives cleaver with the Bodega Fuller.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know whose handle that is.
Sure. MTech for life, my guy.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I love Master Cutlery.
Dude. Let me just tell you, Elk Ridge is some of the best guitar knives you could get. Like if you're looking for like a nice pocket knife that's shaped like a guitar that also has a bottle opener, Elk Ridge is kind of the way to go. Which is great because I pretty much only collect guitar shaped handled knives. So
Dude, that's what I'm trying to make with the
it's up my alley. I'm glad that
that's what I'm trying to make with the lady leg knife.
Sure. Yeah.
I should just come out with like a lipstick knife. Like a legit like full titanium custom lipstick knife.
Honestly, I think that'll do well considering how big they were back in the day.
I get that.
Like a high-end version.
It's like a key knife.
I've been looking to fulfill my triple set throwing knife desire for a while, and I just found a really amazing one with a rainbow dragon curled around the handle by Perfect Point. These look really nice. They're embossed. Oh, sweet. Here we go.
Elk Ridge guitar knife.
Oh,
I can't figure out how sarcastic you are.
I was just this is great. So I just found some stars and bars throwing knives. So they've been hydro dipped with the Southern flag, which is great because that way I can throw knives and also, that's great. Oh God.
Where are the guitar knives? I don't see them.
Hold on. I'll send a link to the group chat. Those are okay. No, my bad. Those are actually, that's MTech branded. So that's an in-house design from MTech.
Holy shit, I see it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Flaming gold guitar.
Oh, it's pretty baller.
Dude, it's $5.
Sure. Yeah, I'll get.
Ask me, like, what am I EDCing? Oh, just this.
This. I mean, a lot of these are legitimate. It's so tough to tell because a lot of these are probably semi.
Hey, Elijah, can you get me a knife from Savivi at SHOT Show if I don't go there?
Probably, yeah.
I want a backlash.
What?
Everybody wants one of those.
Well, it looks just like one of my designs that I have.
Yeah.
Try to get that knife on an airplane.
Sure. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, Jungle Master. Nice. Here we go.
Jungle.
Nice.
Oh, this MTech looks dope.
Yeah, dude, these are really nice.
Yeah, some of the MTechs. Who was saying that? Was it Lewon? That like they're scary?
No, I was saying that.
Me and Joe were saying that because like $10 you get bearings. And I was like, my bearings cost me $3.
Yeah, no, the Chinese production scale for what we're expecting them to put out and what they're actually putting out, like these amazing elk ridge knives are actually probably pretty nice. Like, granted, I want a red dragon with ruby eyes on mine, not a silver one, but I can settle. Ah, this is dope. It's got running horses on it. Sick.
It's got like a wolf scene.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Okay, no bullshit. The very first knife I ever had was my dad got it for me when I was like real little. It's like a boker, I think, a little slip joint. It's a scrimshaw. It's a wolf scene.
Nice. That's
but it's
so
actually
awesome.
It's actually tasteful. So I'll try to get a picture of it.
I could see you as like a kid. I'm sure your dad looked at you and was like, you know what, this guy's going to grow up and wear a lot of sweatpants and wear like wolf scene shirts.
Dude.
Turns out pretty accurate. Pretty accurate.
I am literally going to start wearing wolf scene shirts like to every show now.
Yeah. No, that's some of the best ones.
I've seen, where's that at? It was a tattoo. It was like
a red and pink tie-dye. Good.
It was a naked woman that had a hippo head riding like a chainsaw shark with like machine guns.
Oh, you sent that to the group. Yeah. Okay.
Did I? I hope I saved it.
That's an internet shirt right there.
I actually, so Mountain Cat, the Mountain King Kitten, I actually put that in my cart. I might buy that.
Nice. Follow through, Nick. These are jokes, but they're real life jokes, okay? We're here. Oh my God. Yeah, that's
the greatest tattoo of all time.
What is that?
You got the Kraken kitty?
It's a naked woman holding a scythe.
And she has a hippo head.
On
riding a chainsaw shark.
And the shark is a chainsaw.
Fuck yeah, guy.
And then she's also riding a broomstick at the same time?
No, that's the scythe. That's the scythe.
Wow.
Oh, there it is. I didn't see that. Okay.
Also, it's like hard to tell, but that's just like a chick's like entire side.
Yeah, no, that's her.
Obviously, we see that.
Well, you get so caught up in the piece that you forget to see the tongue on someone.
I get it.